Jew, and I am so glad you are here. Guys, it has been a few weeks. Hi, how are you guys? What have you been up to? Oh my gosh, I missed you. I don't know. I have missed you. Hello, everybody. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Calvin. Hi, Netters. Tobogo. Oh, your first live. I'm so glad you are here. Oh my goodness, we have been doing well. Deza, Stephanie. They said there's an echo, guys.
I just adjusted it.
All right, is there still an echo? Thank you all so much. I'm so glad to be here with you. We've been doing a lot. Oh my goodness. We have been, okay, so 2 weeks ago, we were in AP Canada. Hello guys, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us for lunch. So a couple of weeks ago, my son, my oldest Nathan, had his graduation ceremony. He actually finished high school. He turned 16 in July and he finished high school in September. And so they had the graduation ceremony just in December now. So we had to drive down about 4 hours away to go celebrate him, and that was on Friday, so we missed that one. And then something happened last week. I don't even remember what it was that was last week that was like, we can't do our live this week again. But anyway, we're here now, and that is what is important. I want to hear, what have you guys been doing? And I definitely want to know, where are you guys chiming in from? I always want to know, where are we at and what are we having for lunch today? So, yeah, thank you guys. They're saying congrats to Nate and Nathan. They're wishing you all the best. And so, yeah, I'm super proud of Nate. 16 and graduated high school. I couldn't be more prouder of this kid. And he's worked really hard. My Noah, you know, I have them in online school. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I have homeschooled my kids from when I started teaching them when they could talk. So Nathan started reading his words at 2. And I literally have had them, been teaching them until I think 5th or 6th grade, and then I put them in online school. And so I am super proud of them. They don't have to stay on the typical educational standards of the time frame and all that. And as much as we travel and go abroad, my kids can literally take their laptops and work from school anywhere we are. And so it's just a blessing, and it works for our life. And I am just super glad that it's working for them. My Noah now is, he finished his 8th grade in just a few months because he is just grinding it out. And so now he's in 9th grade, and he's already done 2 classes. He likes to do them one at a time. And so now he will probably, he's 14, and I'm pretty sure he'll graduate high school in his 15th year. I keep saying that, and he's like, no, Mom, I'm grinding this out. I'm going to beat Nathan, and I'm going to graduate at 14. So I love the healthy competition. Well, look, I see where you guys, Tanya, you're from Edinburgh, Texas. I can't even say I've ever heard of an Edinburgh, Texas. That is awesome. And, South Africa, you know that's my spot. Thank you to Bogo for joining all the way from South Africa.
I love it. Come on, Virginia. Come on, Savannah, Georgia. I have a friend who, the first time I even heard of Savannah, Georgia, was a friend I went to high school. No, I went to elementary and middle school with. Her name, she's a good friend of mine, and she always says, I'm from Savannah, Georgia. And believe it or not, we don't talk as much, but we still keep in touch from time to time, even now. So anyway, guys, super sorry that we had to start a little bit late today, but I do want you guys to know this would be the last Spend Lunch with You just for 2024, so that I could spend the next couple of weeks with the family and take some time off, because it has been busy, guys. It has been super busy, and yet I'm grateful for all that God has done and started. We've started a long time ago, but just launching out in a different type of capacity this year. So super excited. Now, tell me, what are you guys eating today? And I'm going to let you guys know what I made here already. So, what are you guys having for lunch and or dinner, depending on where you're chiming in from? What time is it, Tobago? If you're in South Africa, what time is it now? I don't know if it's probably gonna fall up in the chat, but I'm so glad you guys are here. Tell me what you guys are having for lunch. What I made is now. Do you guys remember the first week we had it that we did spend lunch with you? I don't remember if I made the avocado toast the first week or the second week. I believe it was early on. 8:16. All right, it's dinner for you, Tobago. I don't remember if we had avocado toast the first or second week, where, of course, avocado toast, you have your bread, and then you put your avocado on there and spread it around and you season it up, and it's all delicious. All right. So this is a little bit different, okay? And this here, I have a little bit different cameras today. I don't know if you guys can see this, all right? These look like little small pancakes, but they're not. So move some of this decoration out the way. Can you guys see that? So that's actually called avocado bread, right? So it's something like that. I found this recipe and I began to make it and I loved it, all right? Now, it's only my second time making it, but I wanted to make sure that I tried to do it right this time. It's so good, and it's really like 3 ingredients. Thank you, Rosalind. I appreciate it. I don't put heat in my hair. I keep it really moisturized with a lot of water. I think your hair. She asked me a question about hair. Your hair is like a plant. And so when you give it life, you give it water, it grows. And so I just don't put damaging things in my hair. I don't wear weaves. I don't wear chemicals. I don't put any of that stuff in my hair. Definitely no shade. If you guys do, no worries. I just choose not to. And so I wash my hair. I keep it conditioned and moisturized, like plenty of water, moisturized. I let it air dry. I don't let it blow dry. And so today, or just earlier this week, my sister, she invested in this sort of, I call it the vacuum. And I forgot the name of this device that she has. And it blow dries your hair, but it's using cool air and it's not really blow drying it. It's just removing the moisture from it. I don't know. Something she paid for it. So I was like, okay, you paid for it, but it's our thing. So it doesn't damage your hair at all. And I have to get the name of it. I could probably text her. Rev Air. That's what it is. She bought this Rev Air thing. So I was like, it's our Rev Air. And so I'll do that maybe once or twice a year. And then that's the extent of it. So I typically just don't put heat in my hair. So yeah, thank you. Okay, so first week, coming out from Jamaica. Okay, Grace Ann. Yay. Oh, she had fried dumplings and saltfish. Yes, honey. Oh, send it over, Grace. Yes, honey. So anyway, I was talking about something before we went off on the, we were talking about the avocado toast, the avocado bread. So I got this recipe, and it's literally 3 ingredients. It's you get the avocado, the fresh avocado, and then you put cheese in it. So whatever cheese you want. Of course, we have to use the vegan cheese. And so we put the vegan cheese in it. And then I also, for flavor, and because the feta cheese is a little salty, I'll add the feta cheese in there. And then you put 1 egg. So 1 avocado, 1 egg, and some cheese. So whatever cheese of your choice. And then you mix it all up. And then you put it in the oven and you bake it for about 30 minutes. Now, don't forget to add your seasoning. You have to add your seasoning so that it tastes good. And so they look like little pancakes. And then I was rushing this morning, so I didn't have any turkey bacon, which I would have naturally layered on it some turkey bacon and maybe some lettuce or something like that. So what I realized, I was like, oh, I only have these cherry tomatoes. So we just sliced these bad guys up and put them on there, and they're going to taste delicious. So it's going to be my attempt. I have 2 things here because this one I used a regular egg, and this one I used a just egg because my kids are allergic, and so they love it. And my son, Noah, who hates avocado, actually loves this. And so maybe you can give it a try and see if you like it. So far, it has a really great taste. You can make it as thick or as thin as you like. And then you can put it together like a sandwich. It's really good. So hopefully the team will like it today. Anyways, guys, what are we talking about? What are you guys doing? How have you been for 2 weeks? And hey, Pax, thank you. Merry Christmas to all of you guys and to my Jew crew. If you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, St. Patrick's Day, Columbus Day, Valentine's Day, all the things, I'm celebrating it with you. So, do you guys know I had a surprise for you for this week? I had a surprise for you. And hi, Amy, I'm glad you're here. I actually ordered some gifts to do a giveaway for you guys today, like a month and a half ago, and it never came. It never came. It was actually Spend Lunch with Jew products for you guys that I just wanted to bless you and give it away, and they never arrived. You know, I was in there saying, listen, texting, emailing, refund something. So I just want you guys to know I had you guys on my heart and mind. I wanted to do some fun giveaways. So if I ever get anything back, if not, you'll probably see some giveaways. They'll be late, but it might be the new year, okay? Because this will be our last one for 24, but then we're going to come back in 25 really good. Do you guys have any big plans or ideas for 25? Do you guys, what are some of the things you want to do? I know I would like to take a vacation. What do you guys want to do? Tell me, what do you have plans? Do you have any big goals? I want to know. What do you guys have on your heart and mind that you want to do? Put it in the text. Oh, I wish there was a live feed so that I could just talk to you guys. No worries, Creative Heart. So glad you're here. I didn't do any promos that I was coming back on today, except I just put in the community chat last week that we'll be back this week. So no worries if you guys are just getting the notification. I just wanted to come in here and tell you guys that I love you all. I miss you guys. And just wanted to see what you're up to. You're going on your first cruise. Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome. I have never been on a cruise. It's just a lot of water. It's a lot of water. This is really a lot of water. So, and I love the water. I could swim like a fish, but in that ocean will swallow me up. And so, it's great. Congratulations. I want to know how the cruise goes. You're praying for a new international job role in 25. Okay, great. We are going to definitely be praying for you. A holistic lifestyle and clean eating is my goal. You got this. You got this, Roz. You can do it. You can do it. We were forced to do it because of my kids. And sometimes God will use anything to make sure that you live better and stronger for you. You're graduating next year, so transitioning from being a student to being a forensic crime scene investigator. Oh my gosh, what an amazing. That's super cool. That is awesome. Congratulations. You would be wonderful. Before Tim ever thought about being a pastor, preacher, anything like that, all he wanted to do when he was a kid growing up was to be a detective, a homicide detective. So that's pretty close. So that's great. That's awesome. PAX, I want to join Jeremy's speaker, Next Level Speakers Academy. Yes, it is awesome. He is an amazing speaker. I've been to his conventions, and they are just dynamic. So he'll be there whenever you're ready. It's an awesome opportunity. I think you'll get a lot from it for sure. Going back to school, the thought came to me since I'm praying about, okay, Grace, go back to school. Absolutely. Do anything that's going to add value to you. Absolutely. I definitely want you to go back to school. Do what is the passion within your heart. I always believe that God wants us to excel and be great at everything. So yes. Homicide detective. Yep. We're moving out of state. So praying for a smooth transition and opportunities. Hi, Kate. Good deal. Good deal. That is awesome. Okay. Well, God, we pray for all the people that are going into transition, that are transitioning into to new things, new phases, new spaces, new opportunities. God, I pray you give them all favor, abundant favor. I pray that you give them peace as they go through it because it could be a little fretful. But God gives peace wherever He is, and He gives provision for where He's going, where He's leading you to. So go with excitement, go with the newness of just letting go and letting God do it for you. So fantastic. I know all will work out. A mediation business. Awesome. Good. Awesome. That is great. Congratulations. This is so exciting. Listen, it seems like you all have some really great opportunities and goals that you're looking forward to in 2025. And I'm going to believe that God is going to open up these doors for you for sure. Creative Hearts going back to being a full-time therapist. Awesome. For your next license, great. I need to be disciplined to have a better health and healthier relationship with God. Good. You got it. You got it. I'm so excited, guys. I am thrilled for all of you. That is wonderful. I celebrate all the goals in your heart. And if you don't have a goal yet, if you're not quite sure, I pray that God reveal it to you because He will if you ask Him. And I know a lot of times that there is things in our life that we have to relinquish control over. And that's what faith is about. That is faith, is just saying, God, I don't know, but I trust you. And I am not sure of what's to come. You don't owe me to tell me everything, but I do owe it enough for all the things you've done. I know enough to know that I can trust you. And so even when it's unknown for me, I trust your steps. So I'm just so grateful for what you're going to do. And I promise you, if you trust the process, even if it looks like it's not going to happen, it doesn't look like it's going to come through, it looks weird in this middle ground, just trust the process. Be open and honest with God in the process. And I'm telling you guys, He will reveal it to you. So I have been studying, well, of course, you guys know I have been I'm a lot in the mentoring platform. And there is I'm definitely doing my morning devotional in there. And I do a lot of deeper opening mentoring in there and all that. But even as I'm studying, we're going a deep dive into Genesis. We're just starting from the beginning. Outside of that, in my regular reading and prayer time, I'm in Deuteronomy. And so I love Deuteronomy. A lot of the disciples and a lot of the New Testament authors, they quote a lot of the words that they quote. They're quoting the Old Testament. They're quoting Deuteronomy. They're quoting God's word. That's what they were taught to do. But I am in Deuteronomy. And as I was studying His word this morning, I just felt like the Lord said, in this next coming year, be aware of your idols. Don't get caught up and take notice of what could be an idol in your life. And make sure that you remove those idols. Somebody said something to me, I believe it was earlier this week, was like, God was such an angry God in the Old Testament, and he was mean and all this kind of stuff. But you have to have understanding. And He kept delivering them. He kept freeing them. He did everything for them. And yet they kept going back and worshiping gods, new gods, other idols that haven't done anything for them. God has brought them out. He saved, He healed, He delivered, He showed His power. He did everything to just share His love with them. And the children of Israel oftentimes kept saying, yeah, I don't care about all that. And they kept going back to old idol worship. And I realized that was some of the things that would kindle God's heart and say, hey, there will be no other gods before me. So what are gods? What are idols, right? Idols are things that we put above Him, that we make more important than Him, and things that we actually value, that we feel like we can't live without. And so I just want to give you guys a little tidbit for 2025 that as you're going along your journey. And in 2025, even as we're coming into this new year, we have these beautiful goals, is just to make sure that the goals don't become idols. And to make sure that as the blessings of God comes in your life, and as he begins to open up doors for you, and as he begins to let your name be heard a little bit more, as he begins to um, put you in front of places and people that can also help advance you, do not let those things and those opportunities and the desire to be seen or heard become an idol. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning, that what God has for you is for you, but remember that it is him that is opening the doors for you. And for some of you, it's him that's closing some doors. All right. We got to say thank you to the closed doors as well. All right. So transition feels hard. It feels awkward. And we thank him for it. Right. It's just the middle ground. We thank him for it. For the open doors and what God is doing, when we're in the right vein, he blows them off the hinges. We thank him for it. Then there are doors that he just won't open, and that they stay closed even when we expect them to be open. And we thank him for it. Because above all, he is our greatest protector, and he sees what we cannot see, and he knows what we don't know, and he knows what lies ahead. And so there are just certain things that God holds in his heart that he just doesn't share with us, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know. Even when I was studying, I believe it's Deuteronomy 28 or 29 this morning, he was telling Moses, like, hey, Moses, you're about to die. All right. And you need to transition this over to Joshua. And he said, I brought all the children of Israel, and I've showed them my miracles, and I've showed them my glory, and I've showed them, I've provided them food that they've never had. And yet they've still have denied me. They've still have been worshiping other gods. And he says, I'm gonna write a song. Okay, I want you to give them these last words. I've given them my commandments. He says, now after you die and you go be with your ancestors, I'm gonna send you with your ancestors. He says, after you leave them and I send them with Joshua, they're still gonna go back and do. They are still gonna go worship other idols. They're still not gonna hear me, but I'm still gonna provide for them. I'm still gonna love them. They're still going to do everything I told them not to do. He knew it. He knew what they were going to do from before they even did it. And I just want to say, God knows what's ahead. He just knows what's ahead. And so even though he said, my anger is going to be kindled, and I'm not going to be with them because they're just going to continue to be very disobedient until X, Y, and Z. I want you guys to know, I'm not saying you guys are being disobedient, but what I am saying is that God knows from afar off what we're going to do, how we're going to behave, how we're going to act. And he's still with you. He's still going to be with you. And I believe that God's given you the tools to remember. He's going to give you a song to remember. He's going to give you something to remember him. Okay, remember the Lord as he is doing some things. All right, they're trying to get my attention. Yes, son. What is all that? That was a dramatic stretch. Yeah, he's back there doing all this. He's back there doing all this. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, they're trying to get my attention. Okay, so I see you guys are saying something. All right. Can you scroll down so I can see what they're talking about? I want to make sure I'm talking to them. Nope, maybe scroll up the other way. That's it. It won't go anywhere. All right. I saw a daily prophetic word that said some people have learned to love God with their whole heart and others with their whole mind. When you love him with your mind, you won't hear him as much, and then it stopped. All right, I think this is the same topic you're discussing now, more or less. How do you effectively live life? Handed something on to God, and now he's telling you to do something or pick something up. Can you scroll? Can you scroll a little bit down and see Stephanie's and Creative's Heart's comment? Topic you discussing now, more or less. How do you effectively live life open-handed to God and know that he's telling you to let something go or pick something? Oh, okay, great. All right, Stephanie, so that's a really great question. Yeah, you have to, well, it's transparent. So you've got to be able to stay in his word, right? You have to spend time with him. This is what makes the relationship with God and us hearing him, knowing his voice, is that we've got to really spend quality time with him. When you go to work, or if you have children, or if you have siblings or families or parents, or people that are around you, when you spend enough time with them, you could be in a room of 30, 40, 50 people. And if they're calling your name, you could hear their voice. You know which voice is theirs. If you're around somebody long enough, you could hear a laugh, you could hear a sound, you could hear something that you'll say, oh, I know that voice anywhere. I know that laugh anywhere. Why? Because you'd have spent enough time with them. And the same thing when it comes to God. When we take our time to really do a deep dive and study our Bible and study our word and pray, we're taking the time to pray and commune with God. And we're really intentionally spending quality time with him. You will know there's a peace that comes when he's speaking and talking to you, right? You will know. And sometimes if the doors close and you've done everything that you could do, you've done everything, right? Because you can do all the things that are possible. He does the impossible things, all right? So when you've done everything that you can do, you've prayed, you've sought the Lord, you've put yourself out there, and the door closes, then maybe that was God closing the door, right? This also means that you don't have any preconditions of your own desires within. So it's, I'm trusting you, God, and even though I may want it or don't want it, it doesn't matter what I want. I want what you have for me, right? So if the door closes, you're at a resolute state that says, well, God, if this was you, if you close that door and I want your will for my life, then I accept it. I don't understand it, but I accept it. And then if a door opens for you, you're going to know because he's going to also provide for it and he's going to make it easy. So sometimes when we don't want to let things go, it's because, Stephanie, sometimes we are the ones with the attachment issue. We are the ones that have our desire is attached to it more than his. And so when we surrender, it's easy to let things go and pick things up. So I hope that helps. And let me know if I need to go deeper in that. Creative heart. Nathan, can you go back to the creative heart so I can get the full, right there. Prophetic word, people have to learn to love God with their whole heart and minds. When you love him with your mind, you won't hear him as much. Or, now can you go back down to the bottom? Or be able to dwell in his presence. Do you think that is true? When you love him with your mind, you won't hear him as much. Or be able to dwell in his presence. Well, first of all, God is omnipresent. So every breath that you're living and breathing is his presence. Okay, he is everywhere, all at the same time. David said, if I make my bed in hell, you will be there. So we don't think about it that way, nor do we appreciate it that way, but God's presence is already with you. So I can't necessarily agree that whether you worship him with your mind, heart, or soul, are you going to dwell in his presence? So there's that. I think there's a lot of things said in that question, so I want to nitpick it apart. But there are people who are intellectuals, and there are people that are emotional people. There are people that are led with their mind, their heart, and their soul. And God knows all of this. And there are certain ways that people learn to come to Christ. They don't always come to Christ emotionally. They all come to Christ intellectually. I know some scientists that have come to know Christ through the intellectual side of what they know, okay? It was through science that brought them through Christ. Well, science is something that's not necessarily a matter of the heart. It is a matter of the mind, knowledge, wisdom, and education. Oftentimes, those two things don't necessarily mix well in the scientific world. And then you have some scientists who say, we can't even have everything that we have that is without God. And so they may call it things different. Like when they call the galaxy and the universe, they may call them the universe, or they may say, we don't have an explanation for the black matter that is in the galaxy. And yet they know that it is something bigger. It's not something that was a created entity from themselves. So sometimes what I'm saying is people come to know Christ in their own way. And I can't sit here and say that I agree or disagree in the way that they come to Christ, that you can't dwell in his presence intellectually through your mind or through your heart. So I can't necessarily agree. There are a lot of people out there in which God can speak through in many different ways, in many different facets. And so um, I know that God is so big, Christ is so vast, and he is not limited to your education. He's not limited to your intellect. He's not limited to your disability. He's not limited to anything that you have in which he cannot reach you, and or which you cannot dwell in his presence. So if I understood that question right, I may have to say I don't necessarily agree. I believe that God can reach you in his presence however he chooses to and however you are as an individual. So I hope that helps. You can let me know, Creative Heart, if I did not understand your question properly. And if I didn't, we'll go at it again. I'm here for it. All right. Now, I want to get started. I forgot, guys, this avocado bread has been sitting here, and I want to make sure that you guys get it. So it is my attempt. I roasted this. I put this in the oven for about 30 minutes, and I made them too thin. But they are going to be really good regardless. So I'll put these on some plates and I'm hand them out. But they're probably super cool. They're probably cold by now. It's breaking. All right, how are we going? Thank you so much. That was tremendously helpful. Okay. Walking in front of the camera, I felt like I've had two hearts and loved him with both of them. And so I was confused. Oh, no worries. Listen, God knows the mind he gave you. He knows the heart he gave you. Sometimes the heart and the mind don't always line up. Whichever one loves Jesus, he's going to take it, all right? And he knows how to work through all of it. So please don't let people confuse you with maybe their limited scope on the depth and breadth of God. He's not limited to your limitations, okay? So, yeah. All right. What else are you guys doing out there? Here's one. I got some tomatoes. Here, let's put some of this. Guys, they didn't bring me a fork. I don't eat beef much, all right? But every now and again, they sell this jalapeno beef. It's a beef sausage, and it is delicious, guys. I don't know if you like spicy things, but if you do, this jalapeno beef sausage, I forgot what it came from, but it is wonderful. So give it a try. So I wanted to show you, I don't know if you guys can see this, but they look like little pancakes. And I just have the little tomatoes on there. Awesome, awesome. So I have the little tomatoes on there and that jalapeno sausage. And it's really good. You can actually flip it over and make it like a sandwich. So here we go. That's yours, Mr. Producer. And how does it taste, guys? It's amazing. Yeah, guys, that healthy, just that avocado. And hi, Yvette. Yay. Okay, glad we are back. This is there. The green light is on this avocado bread. It is let's just call it avocado bread. And so now it's the sandwich. Again, you can put tomatoes, lettuce, whatever you want in there. Maybe a bacon or a turkey bacon. Whatever meat that you would like, and it's really good. It is really good. Awesome. Okay, so guys, my sister is in the chat, and she's the one that bought the Rev Air, and so she's the one that we share the Rev Air for this. She's in there. I don't know how long you've been in here, Yvette, but we were talking about that Rev Air earlier. This was really, really good, guys. And so I made mine a little bit thin, but you can make it thicker. And sometimes what I do is I put it, I'll put it on a little low broil to crust up the top part, and then make sure you bake it for a while to get the bottom and to get the insides. But make sure you season it too, guys. Season your food, all right? And all you could do is actually put in the the tomato bagel, the bagel seasoning. That helps quite a bit as well. So garlic, the bagel seasoning, the pepper, of course, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of I use a few things. Listen, I would typically have all the seasonings out here. I should have brought it to show you guys, but it's all good. You're not going to go wrong with salt, pepper, and garlic. A little bit of the Italian herb seasoning I put in there as well. And the avocado or the bagel toast, avocado toast and the bagel seasoning. That's really perfectly fine and all you need. And of course your cheeses, and it's good. All right. Producer, how is it? It is good. Yeah, listen. And then there's no bread carbs. There's no bread carbs. So if anybody is looking forward to that, it's a pretty good, healthy vegan. Well, it's not vegan if I added the meat. You don't have to add the meat. And so that's no problem there. But anyways, I'm so glad, guys. What time is it? It's 12:49. All right, guys. What are your plans for Christmas? Are you going anywhere? Are you going out of town? I just need to know. I'm staying here. We celebrate Thanksgiving at my sister's house, and we celebrate Christmas at mine. And I know you can't see it, but my whole house is like winter wonderland. I start from the end of October. Don't judge. Don't judge. I start from the end of October because it takes me a while to put up all of my Christmas decorations. And then the family never wants me to take it down. Every time, like, I try to take it down, they're like, no, leave it up. And so I think the longest I've had it was end of January. Maybe might have been in early February. We've kept it up. Don't judge. Don't judge. But I love it. And we just have a good time. We have a good time. We always do some sort of craft because I'm here for the creatives. And we do something fun. We celebrate our Christmas on Christmas Eve. So late, 11, 12 o'clock. That's when we open up our presents because it's all festive and the Christmas lights are on. And I don't want the big light on. Do you guys know what the big light is? When you have the ambient lighting on, and it's really like warm and cozy. But then the big light comes on, which is the main house lights. I hate the big light, guys. Do y'all like the big light? I feel like the big light ruins everything. So I don't like it. So at Christmas Eve, we don't necessarily have to turn on the big light. And if we do, it's only for a little bit. But Christmas morning, with most traditions, they do Christmas morning. It's just there's no fun Christmas ambient lighting on. And so, yeah, the vibey lights has to be highlighted. So, yes, I'm here for all the ambient Christmas lighting. And so that's what we're going to do. And so we are going to definitely, no big light, yes. We're definitely going to celebrate Christmas. We're going to do some, thank you, Calvin. I hate the big light as well. I feel so seen. Thank you. The big light. It's the worst. But anyway, so we'll do that. We're going to make, we do something different like every year. I'm here for the games and the fun. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I'm a party girl, okay? I'm here for a party at any given time. And as deep and spiritual as I can be, and as much as I love Jesus, all of that is true. And I enjoy to have fun because I am an island girl, and that is what we do. And so in all of the parties, I'm always doing something typically outlandish. And there is a show that we used to watch a lot as a family called Chopped. I don't know if you guys watch that on Food Network or have watched that on Food Network. And so what I would do is literally recreate and change my whole kitchen around and decorate it like the entire Chopped show. It looks just like the show. And so there is an entire kitchen setup where we cook. We have the host. We have the mystery baskets and everything. We just have a really good time. And then there are other times where we do talent shows for the holidays, and we do, if not talent, we'll do a creative fun thing. So it's all good. We just have a great time, and we love celebrating the holidays. All right, so I see some stuff going on in the chat. Nathan, can you scroll so I can see what they're saying? I want to make sure I answer them, and then we'll probably sign off in a little bit. But thank you so much, Ella Joy. Y'all Spanish celebrating Christmas Eve. Now I see why Tim's like Spanish. We've always celebrated Christmas Eve it's just been in our tradition. And then when I met Tim, he said he did the same thing too. So it worked out for both of us. Luna, I feel conflicted about Christmas because I can't find it in scriptures, but there was one saying not to worship God the way they do. And the history of Christmas has been heavy on my heart. Hey, Luna, listen, whatever conviction you have, by all means, do it. You're not going to find Christmas in the scriptures at all. It is a pagan holiday for sure. Also, historically, so is having church services on Sunday, right? Back way back then in the Catholic and just the Roman sect, way back in biblical days, it was the Roman Church that was leading a lot of and dictating what was going on back then. And so history will show you that in the pagan world, Sundays, they actually served the sun god on Sundays. And that's why they worshiped back then. But many years ago, the Roman Catholic Church didn't want any conflict with the Romans. So the church didn't want, they were conflicted with the politics. And so as to keep the church going, they ended up just saying they didn't want no fuss with the politicians and the government back in the day. So what they did was they just said, we'll also worship on Sunday. Sunday is our worship day too. But it was really, even on church, Sundays as a given day, as the common chosen day, and even which we go to church and worship God, that was originally where the pagans worshipped their sun god. And so there are many things historically that weren't necessarily right. I'm also aware that Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. Even the calendar holidays are off. And so Jewish and all those days aren't the same months that we have now. And so I don't necessarily believe that Jesus was born on Christmas Day, December 25th. And yet we typically just collectively still celebrate it as the time because we don't exactly know. Also, too, it's just a season. So whether it is, if we align it up with Christian beliefs, we're just celebrating a holiday season where at the time families get to come together and that we exchange gifts. Different parts of the country and different parts of the world reflect and celebrate Christmas differently as well too. So please feel free, whatever your convictions are, that's totally okay. But I'm letting you know now, you're not going to find celebrating Christmas as a scriptural thing at all. We're just having fun and celebrating the holidays with our families and having a good time. And that's how I look at it. And so we understand that Jesus was born on this earth at some point. And so since we don't know the exact day, we're just going to choose this time to celebrate him. So I don't over spiritualize things that bring families together. That's just me. But however you feel, Luna, no worries. There's no, if you are definitely conflicted about it, you don't have to celebrate it. There's definitely no judgment. That's just my take on it. Okay, I don't know if there's any more comments. Can you see? I want to make sure I address whoever's there before we sign off for the holidays. I don't know. I think my boy is sleeping over there. He's taking a nap. All right, can you scroll down? Is there anything that they're there? Hope that helps, Luna. Avo for the toast of the win. What's up, Derek? Hey, Derek is in here. Derek is super great. In scripture, there were certain times during the year that God said we need to celebrate. I felt like God still put it into us all knowing. With that, we're not even knowing him. Oh, yeah, they celebrated. They did weddings. They were different seasonal things. So, yeah, there's Hanukkah. They celebrate the Hanukkah for 7 days. I think they're smarter than us. Okay, they get gifts for 7 days in a row. All right, we're the ones missing out. So no, listen, Jesus was into celebration. He was into weddings. He did all the things, traditions that were there. So sometimes I think that we can. I have people that I know that are vehemently opposed to celebrating Christmas, and they're just like, oh, it's just this pagan holiday. And I'm not worshiping the devil. You know what I mean? I understand what we're doing in our home and our values, and we don't have the conviction for it. So, and yet we know we're just enjoying our family time. But I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope this has been fun. Again, I wish I had the gifts to give away, right? Because they didn't come in time. But I want to say Merry Christmas to you all. I want to say I want to say Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you guys are celebrating with your family. I love you all so much. And see, now the questions are coming in, guys. I'll say my goodbyes, but I won't go without answering. But I do want to make sure that you guys have an amazing holiday season. Spend the time with your families and your loved ones. Enjoy and do all the things. Okay, scroll down. I think Jacques. Hey, Jacques and Corinne. Oh, I love y'all. I think you were saying something about the kids. All right. My son's not on his job. He's sleeping on me. All right. Calvin, you had your first therapy session. Great. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. So happy for you. Get it in while you can. I'm so proud of you. Do it, do it, do it. Nope, we did. I'm past that. Yep. All right. Slow down, Jocks. Hey, Ju, happy holidays. You too. Curious about what programs you use for your boys for homeschooling. So, Jacques, your kids are still very young. I homeschooled them myself. Now, when I did the homeschooling, when I taught them, to be quite honest with you, I struggled. Like I celebrate teachers so much because it is hard to teach kids. Your kids were young. I started them out with the Your Baby Can Read program, and that taught them super well. I had the entire thing. That's why he was reading and knowing these word sites from 2 years old. So as they're super duper young, we did that. We used Your Baby Can Read every day, 3 times a day, while they were reading, eating their food. We did maybe an hour, 30 minutes, an hour, however long the program was. We did that several times a day. 3 times a day we had it on for them. I also took index cards, just regular index cards, and on simple words like wall, door, at your kids when they're smaller, toddler size, eyesight level, I would take the index cards and write in capital letters and lowercase those words really big so that every time they went to the wall, they would read it. So they would see it at their eyesight, and it would just be index cards. It was my home, and so I didn't mind having some index cards over the house so that I could teach my kids to read. So, and then as they got a little bit older, we would do window. So they would go everywhere that they would see it. Refrigerator was too big, but we would put door, wall, what are just some more simpler words. We would have it all around the house so that they would have sight words to read. And then, like I said, once they got it and they saw it all the time, then we just gave a little bit higher words. And then, so then I homeschooled them, and I tried a Becca program. I tried that. I told them what I was doing with my children. And I called them, and they said, Mrs. Ross, they were amazing. They said, you are doing so well with your kids. You really don't need our program. I was like, really?